my question is about sleep and being married to someone that has problems with sleep and having lots of young kids, and how do we manage that?
Is this my wife?
I feel like
sounds like she's calling about me.
Boring, but like profoundly relatable. Yeah. Nope. It's just Carrie from Boston.
All right. Well, I feel like my wife's putting you up to this because she may be married to a guy with sleep issues. But all right, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead. Tell me what's going on in your house.
Yeah. So my husband is, and I just want to I'm obsessed with my husband. He's awesome. I'm not calling to like complain about him at all, but he has like the worst sleep. He always has, even before kids. And now that we have like a bunch of, we have 6 kids. And the oldest is 7, the youngest is 8 months. So like
what?
we just get woken up a lot anyway.
What?
Yeah, I know. There's a set of twins in there, but yeah.
Are these bio kids, or did you adopt some kids?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, dude. It's a lot of kids.
Wow.
That's what everybody says. People are like, no, that's not possible. I'm like,
no, it's possible. You're just like,
yeah.
You're not semi-automatic. Y'all are automatic, man.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Hey, congratulations, man. What an adventure.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, no, it's wild, but it's, yeah. So basically, like before we had kids, my husband even had a hard time sleeping. He's a deep thinker. He's really smart. Like these like ideas, like something will just get in his head and then he's like spun up and he can't sleep. And, so that's been a thing. We've done the whole, like, you talk to doctor about like sleep hygiene, you get your hormones tested, like, diet, exercise, all those things. And like that sort of worked when we didn't have kids. And now that we have kids, like, it's just not, it's not working at all. Like if you have like an off chance where everybody sleeps at night, like the dog ends up barking at your water dish and wakes everybody up. And, I guess I'm just more trying to figure out, like, I've heard you mention on the show before that you've had issues with sleep, and I just find that you have like a pretty balanced perspective on like family life, marriage, all those things where like besides sleep hygiene and like setting up routines and things where like it's just not realistic given where we're at in our lives. Is this one of these things that you just have to like white knuckle through the situation, or are there more things that we could be doing, or are there like just behaviors? My husband basically, like, if we knew what to do, he would absolutely do it, like to fix the problem. And sorry, I'd talk a lot. So
no, you're not talking at all. I like to hear how this plays out. Man, I got a lot of questions here. Here's where I've landed sitting with people for a long, long, long time. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this in a clinical diagnostic sense, okay? So I'm saying this in the very Google it, Instagram-y kind of way.
Yeah.
Almost everybody, I would be willing to say 99.99% of the people, myself included. So this is not just sitting with people and the sitting with the literature, but this is just me looking in the mirror, okay?
Yeah.
Almost everybody in this situation is dealing with some sort of underlying anxiousness that is not related to sleep hygiene.
Right.
And because there is so much information out there about sleep hygiene, you need to be doing this and get the red light therapy and the eye masks and the special this and then that.
Yeah.
It allows all of us to create an amazing amount of theater around a core, what I would call biological function. And here's where I always want to start with this premise. What if your body is right?
Right.
So what if his body recognizes if you go to sleep, you're not going to be able to handle the threats that are coming your way. Okay? And so I mean that was like my sleep issues, if you will. That was the huge alarm system that ultimately I ignored for years that ended me up in my own mental health mess.
Okay.
I took medication for years to not sleep, but to just be unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So ultimately it was dealing with the core anxiety underneath it all. So for instance, if a great husband and a great father, if his, I'm going to oversimplify it, okay? If his amygdala knows that y'all owe a mortgage and car payments, and he's already starting to add up the tuition cost of 6 kids. His body would be failing him if it let him sleep all night, because that's an existential threat to his responsibility to keep a household afloat.
Okay.
If he has no men in his life that he regularly interacts with, not in a yo bro kind of way, but in a hey, I'm not doing okay kind of way.
Like a brotherhood.
Then his body knows you have no tribe. You have responsibilities in a wife and a bunch of kids. You have no tribe. And his body would be failing him if it let him sleep all night, because that's an existential threat. Right? And so I could go on and on and on. I'll send you 2 copies of Building an Unanxious Life for both of you.
Okay.
I would love for you guys to distill it down and go through that as a roadmap.
Okay.
And I would be willing to bet that he would exhale and go, oh, crap. Because sleep hygiene is for real. I have an automatic light in my backyard. I don't know how to turn it off. I've tried. I don't know how to turn it off. It comes on at 10:30 every night. If I go to bed at 9:30, 100% of the time I wake up, because it starts shining through our bedroom. I wake up at sometime middle of the night. So like sleep, like darkness and cold temperature. My 8 sleep is the greatest invention ever made, right? All those things are awesome. But if I'm anxious, and for me, that is if I owe somebody money, if I don't, if my marriage isn't in lockstep, if I don't feel like I'm showing up, if my work is yeesh, right? If I'm consuming tons and tons of like news media that's telling me it's all coming down, and then my body would be failing me if it let me sleep.
Okay.
And so those are where that honestly is where I start, and I have now ended up dealing with sleep hygiene stuff later.
Okay.
Because I've got friends. This is me being honest. I have friends that have never been to therapy ever. They're overweight. They're hilarious, and they like so sleep hygiene wise are they're the worst. But they can fall asleep in the middle of a parking lot.
Yes.
Because there's that core sense of safety. I've got people in my life. I don't owe anybody anything. My body is able to exhale.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Okay. So if I rattle off a few of those things to you, how does that register? Yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay.
Several times over.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. I mean, we've had I don't know. I think it's just the whole kid thing. Like he used to have this really core group of guy friends, and then like everybody had kids, everyone spread out, they're far apart. Like so that he's lamented basically about like losing that connection, and then I think it's hard for men to find friends. Like,
it's a nightmare. Friends. A nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Like for me, I have like I can make like girlfriends like pretty easily, but for men, it's hard. So he's talked about that, and then like it's a weird time to be alive, you know. So like, and there's not much you can do about a lot of like the political and international, like all these crazy things that like could potentially affect our lots of children. And so he thinks a lot about that stuff. And then he also he's kind of a hard charger, like ex-Marine, like really good athlete, like holds himself to this very, very high standard. And if something that he's doing isn't perfect, that consumes him basically. So there's that where he just will think about like how to break something down, how to do it better. Like, and he's just always, I guess, like got a mental motor with that kind of thing. Where with me, I'm more like, I just need to make sure I have enough milk for these kids tomorrow. And like, are the groceries good? Is everybody asleep? And then I can fall asleep.
Right. So he's cursed part 2 with not only the basic, what I would call, and again, I'm saying anxiousness. Anxiousness in this situation is a good thing. It's a friend.
Yeah.
Right? It's an alarm system saying, hey, you're not okay. Like this, your environment's not okay. But on top of that, he's literally trained as a Marine to always be looking over the next hill to see what threat's coming.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And that is amazing. And you start to see threats everywhere.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
So I want to point him to this. I've got a buddy named Luke Lefevre who started a journaling course that he does with you. And when you say the word journaling to a cop's kid like me or to a Marine, their eyes are going to roll out the back of their head, right?
Yes.
But here's it's called Holy Work, and I've sent friends through it who are profound atheists, right? It's designed for people of faith, but it works great either way. But here's what I have found. If the only time your brain has the space to process the chaos going on inside your heart and your mind is when you put your head on your pillow, it will take that time, and it will do it till 1 a.m.
Okay. Yep.
Or if you have to have the TV on to collapse, essentially what you're doing, you're numbing yourself. You're going unconscious. You're not going to sleep.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense.
And I heard one person say, like, if you take, Lunesta, Ambien, some of these things, it's a pharmaceutical baseball bat to your head. You are unconscious. You're not asleep. If you have to if the TV has to fade you out, basically distract you to sleep, you're not asleep in the terms of deep sleep, REM sleep, all that chemical processing.
Yeah, and the actual restorative good sleep.
That's exactly right. So you're unconscious, you're out.
Yes.
But it's like being underwater and taking sips of oxygen through a straw, right? That you're not breathing deeply. Having a practice throughout the day. For me, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been telling people to journal forever. I've got stacks of journals. It wasn't until I got into a guided practice, like here's how to do this in the right way, that I actually saw restorative change in my life. Okay. And I've got no affiliation to this at all, but I'll link to it in the show notes. It's legit. And can I tell you a gift you can give him?
Yes, please.
And this is going to make, I'm going to ask all of the mothers listening, the wives listening, especially those of young kids who can't breathe or so busy. I'm going to ask you all to listen to what I'm about to say with compassion, not with ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this to the other listeners. I can tell you are dialed in and you love this guy, and he's a pretty awesome guy. If you could create some sort of calendar space, and that might mean that you're inviting over a couple of other women just to help with the chaos that is 6 kids under 6.
Yeah.
Right? And say, hey, honey, Wednesday nights, I don't want you in this house.
Oh, he would love that.
Thursdays, you are not welcome in my home. I want you to go get some guy friends. I want you to go to the gym. I want you to join a stupid softball league. I want you to go whatever. But you're not welcome here. And here's the other thing. If you will create 30 minutes for after the last kid is in the shower or in the tub, whatever's going on, and you will say, hey, I've marked this off our family calendar. I want you out of the main room, and I want you to go journal.
Okay.
And what you will give him is such a gift that you will ROI back to his ability to be present with you, present with your family, and be more plugged in, which is, I'm going to go fill the car up with gas. I'm going to go get the oil changed in this car so that this thing can keep going forever. And it gives him some space that you've already built in, so that he knows his next task, which Marines love. What's your next task? I have designated you out of here from 8 to 8:30. I want you to go spend 30 minutes intentionally going down Luke's journaling protocol. I want you to go down here and begin to write the stuff out that you're circulating. And then I'll tell your husband, social media news isn't real news. Our bodies are simply not designed to metabolize every crisis. Imagined, not real, or real from every corner of planet Earth. And I know the pushback is, oh, what a privilege. It's not a privilege, it's biology. We can't absorb all of the chaos coming at us through all of the news, all of the insanity. What we can do is the next right thing, period. And so hang on the line here. I'm going to hook you up with those books. And dude, if your husband ever wants to call in, he sounds like a truly amazing man. And I'd love to talk to him if he'd be willing to call in also. But give that a shot and y'all walk through Building an Unanxious Life together, the book, and follow those steps. There's questions at the end of every chapter that y'all can go through together and identify some of these big alarms going off inside of his chest. And begin to solve for those. And I tell you what, after years of being unconscious pharmaceutically to sleep, man, I can barely get my head on my pillow before I'm out now. And sleep is such a gift, but it's just dealing with the core inside out pathway. So thank you so much for the call. I'm really grateful. It's an honor to talk to you. And by the way, thanks for loving your husband, and thanks for allowing him to love you all. I mean, it just sounds like you'll have an amazing, chaotic, but an amazing home.